I'm going to go over what we did in class today on this layering with shapes activity. First thing that you're going to want to do is to go to photopea.com. Once there, we're going to go to File and New, and we are going to name this project Layering with Shapes. You can leave the width at 1280 pixels and the height at 720, the background white, and then click Create, and you will get a rectangle. And you will notice in your layers panel, as we discussed in class, that you will always have a background layer. And so from there, we are going to be adding for this. Again, we're just getting acquainted with Photo P, which is almost an exact replica of Photoshop. So you'll notice the toolbar on the left-hand side. Your tools might be in a little bit of different order on your Chromebook, but I want you to select the rectangle tool, which is located usually under the pen tool. And if you right click, you will see that you will be able to choose some of the other nested shapes, but we're going to stick with the rectangle tool. And what you're going to do first is you are going to draw by clicking and dragging a large rectangle. And you will notice that it has added that rectangle as a separate layer that is on top of the background layer. And I want you to next draw a medium rectangle, which now shows up as shape 2. And then finally, a small rectangle. If you want to move these, you can grab the Move tool, and you are able to, with that layer selected, so that's my shape 3, which is my small, you are able to move them around on the document. Let's say I want to move my middle shape, which is, if I toggle the visibility, you'll be able to tell that it's this one. And finally, if I want to move my other shape, you can. So the next thing you're going to want to do is, because we have shape 1, shape 2, and shape 3, it's just easier and it's good practice to rename them, that names that will be easier for you to remember and for you to navigate the document. So if you come over into the layers panel, I'm going to double click on that shape 1 and I'm going to name it large, rename it large, because that is my large rectangle. I'm going to come over to shape 2, make sure you highlight that in the layers panel, and that is my medium. So double click to rename medium. And finally, my shape 3, if I double click, this is my small. So now I have a small, a medium, and a large rectangle. So now they are in order. So we will see that if we were to move any of these, so if I move my small rectangle, it is going to be the topmost layer. And then next, my medium is underneath that layer. And then my large is the last layer before my background. So I've got my layer panels all organized. The next thing that you're going to want to do is grab your text tool, and we are going to click somewhere on the document once you've selected it. And if you want to change your font, you can come on over and change your font. And I want you to type layering with shapes. Now that's pretty small. So I'm going to show you a way in which you can make the text larger. So if we highlight the text, so go back and highlight. And if you bring your mouse up to where it says size, you'll see it changes from this pointer to a double-sided arrow. So again, you see when we have the mouse started as a pointer, then if we hover it over the word size, it turns into a double-sided arrow. If you left click your mouse, drag it to the right, you're going to be able to change the size of your text. Let's say that I want to changed my text font again, and now I want to make it smaller. Again, bring my cursor up to where the size word is. So you get that double-sided arrow, left click, and then I'm going to bring it back down this way. I like the look of that, so I'm going to check mark to accept those changes. I'm going to grab my move tool, and now I'm going to just move the layering with shapes around so I can, place it to where you want on the document. Okay, so we're almost finished. So the next thing I want you to do is grab the text tool again and just add your name somewhere on the document. And it doesn't need to be as big, but you can keep it big if you want. And then what I want you to do is to take a screenshot of this, but I want you to take a screenshot of not only your document, but I want to see the layers panel over here as well, so I can see that you've renamed your layers. So you are going to, when you take a screenshot, I want you to make sure that not only do you grab the document, but you grab over here so that I can see that you've renamed your layers. And then you can copy or paste, you can use that screenshot as the assignment in Google Classroom, and you can turn in the screenshot of your layering with shapes work. Okay, so this one will be turned in as a screenshot. Again, instructions for how to take a screenshot are in today's post in Google Classroom. So I hope this helps. This is the layering with shapes intro activity.